the trade up. We got to talk about this because I feel like what the Niners are trying to tell you right now is, yeah, they traded up to 3 for a quarterback, but that's for the future. This team right here is so good. It's the best team in the league, and they have to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo because he's a vet and he's great. So yeah, they traded up to number 3, but forget about that. Like they weren't trying to get a starter, even though Kyle Shanahan said 12 times in the pre-draft press conference that he needed a starting quarterback. No, they didn't need a starter. The whole plan was to sit Trey Lance the first year or use him like Taysom Hill. Let him run the ball 90% of the time. Then he'll be ready next year after running the ball 90% of the time. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. All right? Here's the way I see it. They traded up to, if they just felt, we love Jimmy, but he's a little injury prone. You take a quarterback in round 3. Or at 12. Could have taken Mac Jones at 12. Instead, you traded up. Not to 8, not to 6, not to 4. To freaking 3. And the reason you traded up to 3, Kyle, what you told us was we wanted to make sure we could get a starting quarterback. Not any quarterback. We wanted to make sure we get a starting quarterback because the implication is I can't handle another freaking day with Jimmy Garoppolo. Can't do it. So they trade up to number 3. And the reports at the time were that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, who looks good. Already looks better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Had they drafted Mac Jones, he'd be their starter right now. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But the thing is, they didn't have to trade up for Mac Jones. Would have been available at pick 12. They could have stood pat at 12, taken Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0, who's better than Jimmy, and had a new starting quarterback now. No. They didn't do that. Mac Jones wasn't good. Well, whatever. Waiting at 12 wasn't secure enough. They had to move up. And the reports were from Mike Silver, Adam Schefter, everyone, that Kyle Shanahan initially moved up for Mac Jones and had to be talked out of it. Well, I feel like this whole offseason makes sense if that's true. They traded up for someone who was ready now. Better than Jimmy now. He had to get talked out of it because the fan base didn't want it. And you know what? The fan base was right. You can't draft Mac Jones, number 3. He went 15th. Trading up to a guy who would have been there at 12 would have been a fireable offense. So you traded up for Trey Lance because Mac Jones isn't good enough. Justin Fields isn't good enough. You trade up to number 3. That's a spot where you're getting a starter. A guy who's ready. If he's the 3rd pick in the draft, he's ready. Zach Wilson went 2, he's ready. Trevor Lawrence went 1, he's ready. Lance doesn't look ready. So why'd you take him number 3? I mean, here's a question. If the Niners hadn't taken Trey Lance number 3, where would he have gone? Would he have gone before Justin Fields? How do you know? It's possible the answer is no. So what I'm saying is, I never would have traded up to number 3. I've made that clear all offseason. I would have stood at 12, drafted Kellen Mond or Kyle Trask in round 3. But okay, you traded up to 3 for a guy who probably would have been there at 12 or at 8. A guy that you think isn't ready. I think he's ready. You think he's not ready. Why'd you do it? Why did you do it? If you took a quarterback at 12 and you decided he's not ready, you can sit him. He's the 12th pick. That's okay. Patrick Mahomes was the 10th pick. He sat. That's okay. Or 11th or whatever. The number 3 pick, that guy has to play. Who was the last top 3 pick at quarterback who didn't start a single game as a rookie? Carson Palmer? 20 years ago. No, you got to have him in there, especially when you trade up to 3. So all I'm saying is Kyle Shanahan is showing or making us question why he did this. You moved up and you didn't know which quarterback you wanted. You think you wanted Mac Jones, but you didn't need to move up for him. So the whole organization and fan base told you, now you got to take Trey Lance, who also you may not have needed to trade up for. And you don't seem to 100% support. The locker room doesn't seem to 100% support him either. Why did you do this? Why is he here? How are you setting him up for success? How come you can't ever get the quarterback you want? Every single time it's like, oh man, I'm saddled with this guy I didn't pick. I'm tired of that. Act like you want him, Kyle. That's what I want to see from you. Act like you like him. Act like you believe in him. Encourage him for something. That's what Jim Harbaugh did for Colin Kaepernick. He would only say the nicest things about his quarterbacks, trying to pump up their confidence. What do? You kill quarterback confidence. C.J. Beathard playing the best football of his life as soon as he got away from you. Kirk Cousins' career took off as soon as you left Washington. What's going to happen to Jimmy once he leaves here? You keep it real to a fault. You want to be the star of the team. You always need to be right. And so, the quarterbacks are the ones who are wrong. Well, Trey's not ready. Okay, well, what about Jimmy? You just spent the last 4 years telling him that he's not good. So, Kyle, your assessment is right on, and now you have no quarterbacks. No quarterbacks. You got a 2-quarterback system. One guy, Super Taysom Hill. The other guy, dollar store Drew Brees. That's what you got. I hope you guys make the playoffs, man, because I love covering you. I don't want to see you get fired. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know why the hell you traded up to number 3. I wouldn't have done it, but you did it. I thought, man, this guy really must know something. He must love Trey Lance. Oh, nope. You traded up to take a guy who would have been available at 12. And then you, instead, at the last minute, pivoted to some other guy who probably would have been available at 8. Nice. Good going. You really handled that well. I like that. I like that. I tried to help you. I'm quality control. But, you know. Oh, man, I think people are mad at me for that one. Hold on. Hold on. They're coming in fast. Did I go too far? I think you guys are mad. Hold on. Man, these... Okay, hold on. I don't want to miss any. I can... Oh. Okay. Okay, here we go. That was a weird noise. Chris, thank you. Okay. Got you. Grandpa. Oh, what's up, Grandpa? Pat Bewley, baby. Chewy, is this what watching a half of Sudfeld causes? Yes. I blame Sudfeld, really. I blame Sudfeld, really. Ominous says, we know what Trey can do that Jimmy can't, but what the hell can Jimmy do that Trey can't? This 2-quarterback nonsense is a fireable offense. Imagine if Kyle Shanahan had told us this in March when they first had the press conference after trading up to 3. If they were like, oh, our plan for this year is to use 2 quarterbacks. You would have wanted Kyle Shanahan fired in March. This is strange. You would think such a strong trade-up would indicate some type of conviction. No, absolutely not. Totally riding the fence. Strange. Very strange. I don't know. Jody says, hey, Grant, I think you're unnecessarily pushing panic on our boy Trey. Aren't we just seeing rust in a kid who has not played in over a year? I like Trey. I really do. I think we're seeing, I hate to say it, but I wonder if the Niners are doing everything what do I want to say? I wonder if they're the best support system for him. He's a 21-year-old who needs mentorship, and he seems like he's in a locker room that doesn't want him. He's got a coach who won't commit. I wonder what the Niners are doing to aid his development, because a quarterback's development is a relationship. It's not just him. It's him and the organization, the franchise. What are the Niners doing to aid this other than using him like Taysom Hill? Doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how what he did today with the first string makes him a better quarterback. Totally disagree with the Lance analysis. He looked better in the pocket. Looked good. Even flag baited the Raiders secondary twice. It'll be okay. I don't know, man. 6 of 13. Yeah, he had 3 drops, but he's always going to have 3 drops. He throws the ball with no spiral. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he can improve, but the Niners didn't really put him in a position to do that this offseason because he was running the zone read with backups. Boring. Next rant, Grant. You gave me $2 to say that my rant is boring? I should be boring more often. Trey says, Niners did their due diligence with the quarterback process. Everyone said Trey is raw and needs to sit a year. Even you said this. Why switch on that idea now? I didn't say Trey needed to sit a year. You can start these guys early, running the zone read. You can start these guys immediately. The fact that he can run and not turn the ball over means he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo right now. But the fact that Kyle Shanahan won't go for it is just weak, in my opinion. Don't draft him then. You don't move up to number 3 to take a guy to sit a year. Who does that? No one. You want to sit a guy a year, you take him at 12. End of story. I'm right. I am. You know it. It's just preseason, and you guys don't like, criticizing the coach ever because you're fans. I respect that. I'm not a fan. I don't have to do that. Leave the profile. What? Oh, dude. Jacob, are you kidding me? Dude. I never had that one before. Jody says, dang, G, you were going in on Kyle. Don't think they are intentionally keeping people like you on their toes. It's almost like he's trolling you. He's trolling Trey. Trey's the one that hasn't gotten enough reps in preseason. Trey's the one who's being told, we don't really think you're ready. He's trolling Trey, not me. Oh, you thought we liked you when we took you with the 3rd pick? Psych. Psych, we still like Jimmy better. Ha ha, in your face, Trey. Eric Bieniemy will get something out of Trey after Kyle gets canned. Kyle, you better do something with Trey because I think there's a lot of coaches who will be lining up to coach Trey Lance. So you better have a plan. Wow, Grant, give the world a chance. Andrew says you think they'll play Trey differently in the regular season. I don't know. This was the dress rehearsal. I don't know, man. Maybe if I make a big enough stink about it, yeah. 2 quarterback will work. It show defenses will have fits. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Kyle isn't above self-sabotaging. Did it to McNabb when he suggested plays based on the team's strength and weaknesses. Kyle took his advice after benching him for John Beck. That's the thing with Kyle. I've said it for years. This guy is self-destructive, and I don't know where it comes from. Genius. His biggest nemesis is himself. He is Superman and Lex Luthor at the same time. It's amazing. One of the more self-destructive coaches I've ever covered or seen. It's amazing. Only guy who can stop him is himself. So I don't know, man. I don't know what that is, but that's probably some serious psychology that I couldn't even get into. Blaine says, we gave up so much draft capital for what? Average Jimmy and this guy who isn't ready. That's what I'm freaking saying. For what? What did you get? Average Jimmy, guy who's not ready, 2 quarterbacks, no quarterbacks. Really hard pill to swallow, especially when Justin Fields looks good. Mac Jones looks good. Not only do you not need to trade up, but you could have stood pat and got someone who's ready and good. I'm not saying Trey was the wrong pick, but Kyle, show us why you did this. Show us that you think it's the right pick, because right now I'm wondering what the hell you're thinking. To me, I think you think, man, I should have stuck to my guns and drafted Mac Jones. That's not helpful. It's not helpful. Eric says, I don't think this trade will age well, especially since Miami is now using our first-round picks to get Watson. 3 first-round picks and a 3rd for a guy you're going to use like Taysom Hill. It's a bad look. $5 donation to wine for your pops. Relax. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to need it. I definitely lost that. He's somewhere watching like, yeah, look at Grant. Really having a tough night. He's having a great day, I'm sure. Tobin says, totally looks like the body language of certain players hints at not being behind Trey. And yeah, Kyle is a harsh downer as a leader. Yeah. Yes, I feel terrible for Trey Lance. It's a really tough situation for a 21-year-old to be in. It's like, we drafted you, but our locker room doesn't want you, and Kyle's wishy-washy. Good luck. Why'd you draft me? I could have went somewhere else and had a better chance. Poor Trey. Thank you, Tobin.